how to create consistent content. I'm going to be sharing my top.
In the culture that we live in now, the term content is the new word constantly being thrown around. And interestingly enough, everyone is an expert in it. So I made content for 30 days straight, and it really didn't go how I thought it was going to go. So for the past 30 days, I did what I love doing most, which was creating content. And I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. Like, I do this all the time, so why wouldn't it work? I wanted to see how far I could go with both the videos and the pictures and see what else I could really create. But what I had in mind didn't go as planned. I tried experiments like this before, and they had all failed in one way or another. I was either overthinking the content or finding a way to get out of making the content because I felt like it wasn't good enough. This time had to be different. So I thought the best way to do this was to plan for it. Plan as much as I could so there would be no room for error. When I say it didn't go as originally planned, I'm not talking about a decrease in followers or a decrease in me actually wanting to do it. It was a couple of things. I remember staying up late, putting out 3 or 4 beats, so I can prepare for the other days when I really wanted to do like high quality bass videos. In the beginning, it worked perfectly, but as I started getting through the month, that started to affect other things within my life. Even when I was creating those 3 or 4 pieces of content just for the back burner, another thing was brewing, and it was an addiction to the likes and the accolades. Actually, this is a point I never thought I'd really hit again. There's occasionally moments where I do compare myself, but it's not really based on the likes or the follows for real. But this whole 30-day experiment really showed me that there's a difference between creating content genuinely and creating content for the likes and the accolades. It's a thin line because you can easily cross over to the other side and start to think that you're not good enough or you're not creating good enough content because you're not getting the results that you want to see. Being honest, most of the days I didn't want to put out anything. I wanted to lay in bed, chill, work on something else. Looking at my computer and working was the last thing I wanted to do. But even when I didn't want to do it, I pushed myself to make something new. A better bass video, a better IG reel, a better photo. Those were the days I think I produced my best work. The world is full of distractions, full of likes, full of follows. I know for me, it's easy to get caught up in those metrics. It's easy to start to listen to the noise because it's the easy thing to do. It's easy to compromise and neglect the hustle. So the likes began to shift my perspective. I thought, okay, well, my audience, they like this thing, so maybe I should be pumping out more of this thing, but I really want to do these cinematic bass videos. So I would start to put that more on the back burner and do the things that I know would get the likes and get the reposts and things of that nature. So this whole process was a creative roller coaster of some sorts. I thought, I would be like Rocky when he has like all his like little training moments and he feels like he's on top of the world. I thought I would feel like that, but that didn't happen. So there were a couple things that I learned from this experiment. One was it's cool to create content for just you. We live in a society full of social media. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all that stuff. And when you get caught up in the metrics of wanting to be successful, I felt like that was the only way I was going to be successful if people liked my content and shared it. That's not actually true. I felt like the times when I wanted to create what I wanted to create, it breeded the best results. From this experiment, I also learned that, pushing myself a little bit more actually gives me the results I want to see. I got to enhance my video skills, my video editing skills a lot, my storytelling skills, things that I really wanted to perfect, and I really want to perfect, I got to work on. I was really good at making beats. I'm really good at making beats, I believe, but it's telling the story with the camera in a small space that challenged me. I'm in a dorm, I'm in a room now back at home. So how can I tell a story each time that it makes you feel like you're not in the same place? And the last thing I learned was I have to love what I do. There were actually some nights where I wanted to throw my computer across the room. There were some nights where I didn't want to make anything at all. I had to push through. It took me looking at all the stuff that I made to actually appreciate this experiment. It definitely had some ups and downs, but I would probably do it again.